today I will upload that document, notes related to it. So I given you the overview of how we can use jQuery in our applications, how we can manage and work with jQuery. So in that so in this we learned basically how to handle various manipulations. As I told you that we can build that complete example, whatever we learned. So building of uh, shopping cart example, we can design in jQuery. So into Classroom, I will upload that jQuery documentation so that you can get from there. And the introduction to that jQuery. I already uploaded this jQuery document where you will have all the information. Means along with all the examples are there. Some additional examples which are not present here, those I will upload into Classroom. So how we can configure jQuery, example, DOM manipulations, everything is there. Whatever I explained is available here. Along means I given the selectors also detailing. But actually, if you know CSS selectors, no need to explain all of this. And these methods, what is the purpose of HTML, text, val, property, attributes, and all these examples I given here. But API related examples are not present here. API is present with the Ajax option. So that also I will upload now. First we will design it. That means here we have to learn the various jQuery methods for interacting and how to communicate and how we can present the data. We have to see that. Let's create the UI part here. So this is all the data we are presenting. Let's create detailing. So we will create detailing one small design from the beginning so that you can understand. So I will import here. Yeah, I will import Bootstrap and link relation is equal to style sheet href and the node modules Bootstrap icons font icons.css and in this Bootstrap icons. So I'm configuring the containers. So we will create a row and in this we will add the columns is equal to col3. That means if I show you this example how to create a shopping cart, then you will get complete idea. So that will be enough. You can try all other examples here. So now in this left panel, I will add here header and heading Amazon shopping. So here we created span BI cart, okay, and BG danger and text white and text center, okay. Now that is the design we are having. Adding to, and below this we will put some left side column. We need a drop down. Here I will put a div and a label. So form class is equal to form label and below that we have a select the class as form select, and here we are giving an ID as LST categories. Okay, and right side here we have a div, and here we will keep class display flex and flex wrap. Okay, and inside this we need to create the containers. For this I will give an ID catalog. Okay, now when page loads initially, we want to display all the categories list and show here. Then for that we have to write here jQuery function, and in that first we need to fetch data. I will create separate methods like get categories. Get categories is a function. We are creating a separate function. So get categories, and this function should return all the categories. So I will put fetch method, and we will access http://fake store api.com/products/categories. It will return the categories. Then response implies response.json. After that then so response implies data we have to collect, and that data must be stored and rendered. That data must be rendered. Into that I will create so into the data I will unshift all, means I am adding a new item into it, and I have to add this into LST categories. So we need $each data and a callback function. This will collect the key and the value, and every value must be added into drop down. We will create dynamically a option. Okay, into this option we have to put here the expression value dot to uppercase. So uppercase, we are converting into uppercase and here we are configuring value. We are defining the value. So value is nothing but, so whatever the value, so we will put directly that value. When option is submitted, that value will come. So this is the option we have to add to dot append to which element? Hash LST categories. LST categories is the drop down. Append to LST categories, that means it will add to the drop down. Now this is the function which will get the categories. But remember, it will not display anything here because that function should be called. You have to call that function. So get categories function should be called. Then it will execute and it will get the categories list here. So it is fetching the data from API and it is returning the data. We are accessing the data and displaying it. Okay, that is fine, configured here. So once the data comes and configured, next step, what we have to do here is after specifying the data into this, now when user selects the category product should come first, we will put products also. That means I will write another function, get products. In this also, so fetch And this is http://fakestore.api.com/products. It will get all the products. Then, so it will get the response. So response.json, and it will get .then data, and whatever the products data is there, it must be rendered in a card style. Yesterday we learned it can be configured in a card style. It can be easily configured in a card style. So we will use that presenting the data in a card style. So for that we will put the expression here, and in this we will create a div, and this div will configure as card. So we will specify this as card, and margin to need an image. Source is coming from data.image. So height is some 200, and here class is equal to card image top. Okay, and another div. Now in this div we have a class card header, and in that I will keep title, whatever the title is there. So that means expression. So data dot so title. But remember, this needs actually not directly data. We need an iteration inside it. So I will keep that iteration because the data contains lot of products. So you need this in a iteration dollar each, the data and the function. And here we have key and value. For that, this should happen. And here we have to get value dot image, and here we have to get value dot title, and after that I am configuring a div and here we are using that reference. The reference is generally whenever you are configuring, the reference is specify class card footer. Here one issue will come, which I will tell you, button, and here I will put a span, and in that I will keep class is equal to bi and bi cart 4, and we will put add to cart, and this button will have class btn and btn danger and w100. Okay, and below that itself we will put a paragraph, and we will keep the price. So we have price value dot price. Okay, these details are there. Now this must be appended. This must be appended dot append to. It must be append to catalog. That means the cards are added into catalog. So this is another function, get products. We have to call this function also get products. It should call that get products, and you can see the get products. All the products information will be here. We have that, and to keep it uniform, your wish here, I am keeping this header style. I am defining some height. Suppose I say 200 pixel. That means just the card header height is defined, so that uniform will be there. I am displaying that there. Okay, 150. Now we are accessing the data and displaying the data here. And for this container catalog, we are having style height as some 500 pixel and overflow auto. Then you can scroll the contents and view them so that it will be available. So this is accessing all the categories and accessing all the products. So now when I select a category, the category related products must come. That means we have to write event for this drop down. Generally we write on change event in our JavaScript. In jQuery, it's simple. Here we have to write so $hash LST categories, and that is actually drop down dot change. Change is a event, it's a function, and this function can have E, that is event arguments. You can access the event arguments directly here through E. Actually, in our JavaScript, two arguments will be there. One is this, another one is event. But in jQuery, only one event argument will be there. This event argument allows you to access all event related properties and object. Both it will allow. Event related properties are accessible. Event related properties are accessible by direct event. Object related properties are accessible like this. That means you can access like event.clientX. But object related properties, you have to access event.target. You have to use event.target.id, target.name, like that you can use. Only one event argument is used here, not two. Generally we use two event arguments. Now here it is using only one event argument. It is configuring one event argument. So we are defining that event argument and specifying. Okay. So it is configured and it is specified. Event argument is there. Now what should happen here is, so we need to define on change. We have to collect this value. That means I will just use the option like this. Temporarily I will put an alert to test whether it is coming or not. Event.target.value. We are accessing the value. And see now, when I select it, electronics, that electronics is coming. If I select men's, so it is men's is coming. So that means, so women's, that women's is coming. We are accessing and we are displaying it. So whatever, but you see the space is not there because we are sending a value. That value is not coming because this value is trimming automatic, because it is a library. It is trimming the value. Actually, suppose we are not defining that value here. We are not configuring that value. It is trimming that value. I am not defining the value. If I am not defining the value, then you can see I select here men's clothing. Now it is working fine. Because generally, when you pass the value, it is trimming the value, trimming the value. So because jQuery is a ready-made function, jQuery uses ready-made functions which use trim method whenever the library is used. By using trim edit spaces and after space whatever comes it will delete it. That leads to certain problems for us. That's the reason we will use directly the value. Okay. Now what we do is another point here. It is coming in uppercase, we can convert to lowercase. We have to convert to lowercase. That means where category name is equal to, we have to just use event dot target dot value dot to lowercase. We are converting into lowercase. So, and I will just put alert category name. I am alert. In that case, how it is available in the actual categories, in that way it will display. Electronics, men's clothing, everything will be fine. Now what we should do is, which category you selected, that category related products must come. For that we already have an API. We have to use that API here. So what we have to do, we need to use a fetch method. So API is http://fakestore.api.com/ so we have products /category/ we have the category name. Let's see here, separately see that API, fakestore.com /products/category/electronics. It will get only electronics. Suppose here we pass some jewelry, it will get only jewelry. That is the API actually. So in this, now let's put a binding expression, that means backtick, because after the category, the selected category name must be passed here. Selected category name must be passed. And the selected category name is nothing but the selected category name is category name. We have to access that. And after that, dot then, so response and response.json. After that, so dot then, the data will come. Now this data should be passed. This data should be passed into this get products actually. And remember, depending on situation. So that means if the category name is all, then it will simply access all of them. That means here we will write a condition first. First we will put this example. That means we have to display the products that belongs to that category. That means you see now, this get products is accessing all the products related information. This is accessing all the products related information. And it is rendering a card. You see, this is the iterator, which is rendering the card. Now this part, this logic part that is iterating and rendering the card for data, we need several times. Then in that case, what we will do is, this iterating part I will cut from here and I will write a separate function for that. And that function is nothing but, so load function, so load card, so or render card, or say load products. Load products is a function which is having this iterator. Now what I have to do is, this load products we have to call here. We have to call that load products. And into the load products, it is expecting data. That means we are not having any data, it is expecting data. So we have to pass the data. That means whatever data is there, whenever you call it, you pass that data into it. So this is initially on load. It is initially on load. It is accessing that and displaying. On load, it has to do this. Fine. When the category changed, then again, so use that method, load products, and into that pass the data again. This time this data contains only the products that belong to that category. And very important, whenever it is changed, already some data may be there. We must clean up and load it. We must clean that and load it. So that means whenever the category is changed, it should load the data. It should clean up and load. That means, for example, you are accessing here hash catalog, catalog.html. In that we will keep empty. That means it will clean up existing data and it will load this new data. Catalog means right side. Here we have this information. That means now what happens here is when user selects electronics, then only electronic products will come. That will be fine. When user selects jewelry, only jewelry products will come. So the men's clothing, only the men's clothing will come. So it is able to display only what we need. So this is one important option, how it can access. But all is not working. For all also we have to write the condition. That means here we have to write the condition. So here we have to define the condition. So what we will do is just, so we will cut this and I will write a condition. If category name is equal to all, if category name is all, then get products. Get products is loading all the products actually. Else do fetch and display only what is selected. This is how we have to write the condition. So that means if user selects all, then get all the products. For that already logic is there. And if user selects any specific, then use only that specific fetch and display. Now this is fine. Now I click on electronics, only electronics will come. I click on jewelry, only jewelry will come. I click on all, then all should come. So some problem here. It should be lowercase. It is currently having uppercase. Huh? So lowercase, here it is uppercase. I given in lowercase. Category name all. Now you see jewelry and all. Now it have to get all the records. Something problem. Into that get products. All the data is loaded. If category name, it is converting to lowercase. Right. It is converting to lowercase. Category name is converting to lowercase. So lowercase it is converting. You have to use all lowercase. All lowercase because we are converting everything into lowercase. Right. Fine. Now electronics, then all. So it should get all the data and display. Everything will be displayed here. So this is the basic approach. Now this is same what you have learned in your JavaScript only, but little bit the event approach will change. That means observe carefully here, nothing related to events in the UI. So your UI part is very much clean. UI part is very much clean. Everything is in the logic part here. We need to configure. Now here rest of all concepts are similar. So your statements, variables, data types, operators, everything similar. But one issue here you will face is, this is the challenging one here, because add to cart button, you created this add to cart button. This add to cart button you created dynamically actually. You created this dynamically. That means you see, so this button add to cart is generated through the dynamic logic code. Now how to write code for that button? That means on add to cart button click, add to cart button click, it should add that item into shopping cart. And we have to display in the shopping cart. Item in the shopping cart and display in the shopping cart. So here question is adding item into the shopping cart and displaying in the shopping cart. It's actually not possible here directly because it will not allow to write events to the controls that are internally created. It will not do that. That means it will not allow to do that. This is one regular problem you will face while working with jQuery. In jQuery, one of the main problem you will face is when you are dealing with jQuery events. In the jQuery events, we cannot perform events for the controls that are dynamically created inside any particular element. So that's not possible. For example, see, I will put an ID for this button as btn add. I'm using btn add. Now for this button, we have to write the logic. So for this button, we have to write the logic. So that is the option. For this button, if you have to write the logic, now the question here is how the functionality will happen for this particular, how the functionality will happen. So that means you see generally, I will go to the function area, try to call that button and add that logic there. So below somewhere, so that is btn add. btn add here itself I will write. So function. So here we have to access dollar hash btn add dot click. So it's a callback function. So I am writing alert simply add clicked. Try accessing and see. That means when you click on that, usually I will save this, and that is reference is correct. But when I click on that, you can see it's not firing up. Add to cart button click. It's not firing up. Now that is the problem. And this is not the problem when you are working with general JavaScript. In JavaScript, you can access anything and directly handle it. You can directly handle it. But this is a problem. This is the problem, especially when you are dealing with the items inside jQuery. Here, the main question is, how do we write the logic for this? And how we can configure the logic for this? Because events will not work. For example, if you try like another technique, like many times people write like this. That means, so here, they write like JavaScript like concept. JavaScript like concept is nothing but for this add, you say on click. On click is equal to, suppose I said add click, or I will call that function. What is it? Yeah, I will call a function add click. Okay, I'm writing that function here. A function add click. I will just put here alert add click. I'm writing like this. That means on click, we are defining that and configuring it. And you see now here, so in the design, when I click on add click, so you see this add click is not firing up. You see the inspect, and in the console, you will find the problem. You see here, on click, add click not defined. So that means it says that this add click is not configured. Add click is not configured, but actually it is there. This is the wrong way. That means you cannot manage in this way. We cannot configure in that. That means it's not correct. Don't ever try that at all. That's not the point. Then how you manage that function means how to handle and configure that function. Usually, this is asked in regular interviews also. Why? Because one of the main reason to ask this in interview is it is not like JavaScript that you can directly write the events. Only that small change will be there. Actually, for that, we have to use a technique in jQuery. Remember this point in jQuery when you are defining events. Events for embedded elements are defined. So are defined by using on method. So you have to use by using on method. This on method is used for configuring and defining the items. It is very important. That means when you create some add to cart button, click reference or some buttons internally, we have to use this on. Actually, on is a document option. On is a document option. So that means what we have to do is, so by using jQuery on method, so we have to specify the functionality. Let's see the syntax, how to write it. Usually on is a method. So on is a method. You have to use that. And it is related to event handling. Related to event handling. That means if you are configuring the event for any specific ID or reference, then you have to access that by using the selector. That means you have to write dollar a hash that reference btn add, and on that what you have to do is we have to use so dot on. This on method indicates what is the event name you want to define. You have to configure the event name. You have to configure the event name. So which event you want. And here we have to define a callback function. So function. You have to specify the function. What functionality to do that on particular event. You have to specify this. So this is important. You can also configure the child elements. You can also configure the child elements. This is very much required in various other syntaxes also I will tell you. So how to manage it. We can call a function and configure it. That means you see now, actually what we have to do is, that is btn add. Btn add is the ID. We have to write the function here. So that means we need to configure directly the function we will specify. So dollar hash btn add dot on. Here we have to define event name. Event name is click. That is the event name. And what function to handle. So we can configure the function, the callback function here. On that particular, what should happen? I will put an alert saying that add click. Add click. This is how we are configuring. Now when I generally so design this and I click on add, so that it should fire up that and display. Here one more option here. You see, as of now. So when I am selecting here any item, click. That means add clicked. Currently it is not showing any error. It is not displaying any error. But we need to fire up that message and display. That means the error is not displayed. That means it's okay. That means so we are configuring it. But actually, this contains some more options to manage. Usually, when you are accessing the button and configuring the button defined, where to specify the button and use that also is important. Because when you are configuring on, a lot of event handling mechanism will be there. You have to use that. For example, that means this callback function, this is btn add. So we are accessing that by using the ID and specifying it. But this btn add on click, you have to specify the element name also where to configure. There are 2 points. You write this directly on that particular ID reference, or you have to use the event arguments also. That means event related arguments means functions and configure the functions and define them. Actually, because in our example, only that alert click should not happen. We have to collect the data from it and we have to use that data. Means collect the data and use that data. That is the data need to be passed into it. So in that case, to pass the data into it, directly the event arguments are defined. That means event arguments means E. We have to collect the button ID or button name or button value and display it. So let's see how we can handle it, how we can display it. 1 second. Okay, so let's continue. So here, the approach how you configure is this is the button present inside a dynamically generated content. In that case, usually, and we need some event argument also to pass. So we can configure like this dollar. This is very common, regularly used. We have to read the complete embedded document. Then we use document object, and here we have to define dot on which event name is click. Okay, which element clicked, you have to give element name. So that means element related reference ID. You can define element related reference ID. This is event name. Event name is click. Okay. For which element inside that click, inside the document? Because it is an embedded document, then we have to define that hash btn add. So what functionality you want to do? You can configure the functionality. Here we can specify alert. I will put here. So add clicked like this. That means in the document, it will find where this btn add came, because even it is dynamically generated document can read it. And on click of that particular button, it will perform the functionality. That is another important approach here. So that means when I click on add, it says add click. This is working fine. This is the good method of handling it. Directly, you cannot manage the functionality. So always use this technique of managing it. So in the document, because in the document content may be embedded dynamically, then what you have to do in the document, so use on click for this particular element. That means we have to access document on method on click of which element and what functionality. Here we need to send the data, for example. So what we want to do is when the button is clicked, I want to send that particular ID, that particular item related ID, because we want to know which item is selected, which item related ID is selected. So here you can do one more thing here. So this button can have a value. Button can have a value. And see here, some more points we will see. This value contains, so value.id, value.id. It contains value.id. That means current product related ID is assigned as value, is assigned as value. Now generally event argument needs to read that element related ID. So here this function is accessing that, so event argument. Suppose generally event arguments are written like this, event. And how to access the event arguments? For example, I'm accessing event dot target dot value. We are accessing event dot target dot value. That means the value of that particular item we are configuring. We are writing an event argument also there. Now here, when I click on that, that particular ID will come. And I click on this, that particular ID will come. That's important. Suppose I selected some jewelry and I click on add, that jewelry item index will come. ID, whatever ID it is having, it will display. This is important to understand which product they are looking for. Now what we can do is, we can pass this ID. So we can pass this ID and we can fetch and display the details of that particular record and add it. Now, how we can search and get the record that belongs to that particular ID? For that, we have another API method. Another API method. So what we have to do? So we have to get var ID is equal to event dot target dot value. Okay. Then we use a fetch method. This fetch method will get http fakestoreapi.com/products/ I will use a backtick because we will bind here slash the product ID, whatever ID you pass. Products of ID. Once you see in the fake store, products slash sum2, that means it will get the second product information. So that is what we have to do here. So we have to define that ID and the dot then, so get response and the response dot JSON and dot then, so collect the data. And this time, this is only one object. We will create a variable called cart items. Cart items is actually an empty array. It is an empty array. Into the cart items, we will push this record. That means what we have to do, cart items dot push. So into that, we have to push this data, whatever data we collected. We are pushing that into the data. So on click. Now, if I put here an alert, so I will put an alert. So we will say cart items dot length. We are returning the cart items length. So temporarily, I am returning it. So here, let's go to the design. I click on add to cart. So it says one item in the cart. I click on another item, add to cart. So then it says two items in the cart. It gets the length, which you can update and display in any location you want. That means how many items are there in the cart. We can get the cart items length and display it. Usually for doing that, suppose we need to update that length and display. So we can update the length and display. That is, go to the header section. In the design, in the header section, I will just keep the contents in the header div. In that we have a div and another div. So we will have a span. span as, so class here ID as cart count, okay, and in the span we want to display. So your cart items, how many are there? We want to display that cart items. That means I am using class deflex. So justify content between. Actually, that is just a presentation here. Right side, your cart items. And when I add that, I need to update into the cart count. Into that cart count, I need to update that. Then here we are writing the logic push and the dollar hash cart count dot html. It should display the cart items dot length. It should get that. How many items are there in the cart? It should display. And this is temporarily, I will keep as heading 3. So roughly, I'm just keeping that. And I select and add, and it says one item in the cart. I choose any particular item and I click add. Then we have 2 items in the cart. And you can design the rest of the work now. Now, when I click on that button, so you can make this clickable. You can keep it in a button instead of keeping in a span. So you can keep this in a button. You can keep that in a button. So instead of using this, use a button. In a button, you can keep it. And when user clicks on your cart items, when user clicks on that your cart items, I can put an alert after adding every item. That I can do here, push and put an alert saying that item added to cart. And you can see now. So I selected any jewelry and I click add to cart. Item added to cart count is updated here. I'm selecting something else and add to cart, that is also added to the cart. When I click on that, I need to display cart items in a model. I must able to display them and use them. So I hope that part, no need to explain, you will try. You can try that part now. Up to this I have given, and what changes are there we discuss. So that part you try. So that part is nothing but how to display these cart items in a dialog. Use your bootstrap dialogs, bootstrap models in the dialog display. Already in JavaScript we learned that. We designed it in JavaScript. You have to add that in the jQuery also. Displaying in a dialog and showing them in the tabular form, that's a simple task that you can do it. Only here the additional extra thing is we are using everything through the APIs, and this click event, how to manage that click event for the items which are internally configured. So for the elements which are embedded, internally defined, for those elements, how to handle this. This is the key area. Now once, if you can try this entire example and finish. Now, next important, we have to understand about jQuery Ajax, how this jQuery Ajax works. And we have to learn about jQuery effects and jQuery UI animations, how they are handled. That we will see in our next session. We will have session tomorrow. Tomorrow, our session will be at 10 a.m. Is it okay for everyone? 10 a.m. So tomorrow, 10 a.m. we will have the session. And in tomorrow's session, we will discuss jQuery Ajax, which is very important. So once we know this jQuery Ajax, then we can finish jQuery with effects and UI are simple. We can finish easily. So once we finish this jQuery Ajax, now we will discuss about how to use this Ajax with our own API. That means we will learn server-side integration. Server-side integration, here we will learn how to handle with Ajax. Server-side integration means database, MongoDB, and Node.js, server-side technology, middleware, Express, how to create our own APIs, server-side interactions, and manage them. So then you will get a complete end-to-end idea of front-end and back-end. A complete end-to-end application you will able to create. For that, we will discuss those parts in the next session. First, you will tomorrow at 10 a.m. we will join and we will discuss this jQuery Ajax. Okay.